I started this battle that I'm talking about today. Then there was no lifestyle that I was pursuing or anything of that sort. I was an activist. I was a political activist. And I grew with these things into the Youth League, where I demanded all of this. I was not doing it because I'm running a political party for you to vote for me to finance my lifestyle. I was not running a political party. I was in a party advocating for this. And we came here in Midrand in 2011, in the biggest conference of the ANC ever held, in the whole of the ANC ever held by the ANC, because that Youth League conference at Galaga was the biggest. That's how much we had mobilized the youth of South Africa and directed them towards the economic freedom in our lifetime. We had a march, a historic march that was never done anywhere. There's never been a protest march for those kilometers, where we marched from Pretoria from Johannesburg to Pretoria to demand jobs and economic emancipation for the people of South Africa. All of that, I was doing it in a party, not because someone must vote for me to be president of South Africa. I was doing it because I believed that if the ANC takes these decisions, then South Africa will change for the better. And we won that battle. We took it from Midrand. We took it to eThekwini NGC of the ANC, where the ANC took a decision that we must expropriate land without compensation because of the resolutions of the Youth League in 2011. We influenced decisions of that NGC on every aspect. And that's where Zuma and them realized, if these people can win resolutions, it should be easy for them to win leadership against us and remove us. Then, when we took these resolutions here in Galaga, Tony Ngeni came to my house, and I had a house in Sandton, because I believe that our struggle is not to keep our people in Alexander. It's not. Our struggle is to bring our people. Our struggle is to bring our people next to where the resources are, not away from the resources. So, Tony again came to my house and told me, with those resolutions, you are going to be expelled if not killed. And one of those things came to happen. So, the accusation that I do this to finance my lifestyle is necessitated by the fact that you can't falter me politically. And you start splitting hair and trying to find fault with him. He doesn't have a degree, woodwork, what, I fix that. I fix that. And then you come with this, I fix that. Where I'm wrong, I accept and I fix. They say you're overweight, I fix that. So I have no problem. Because they try this and that and this and that. Because the people who are saying to his financing his lifestyle, ask them the question, do you love Nelson Mandela? The answer is going to be yes. And ask them, what is it that Malema is doing, which Nelson has not done? Nelson stayed in Sandton from prison. I don't stay in Sandton from prison. Mandela stayed in Sandton from prison. His spokesperson is here. Mandela's spokesperson, Carl Niels. Where he got the money to buy the house in Sandton, nobody speaks about that. Nobody speaks about that. I owned the first property in a place called Sterk Park when I was a secretary of the Youth League, provincial secretary. When I came in, I bought a piece of land for 200,000 or so through the bank, financed by the bank because I was working now. And first year, I never wasted time. I knew I've got no appointment with poverty. This I'm going to confront head on and fight. How old was I in the Youth League? I think 26 or so when I became the youth league. No, that's the president. In 26, secretary. No. The youth league president I became when I was 26. 26. 4 years before that. No, 5 years I had served as the youth league secretary, which is, I was 21, 22 when I became the secretary of the ANC Youth League. Never took my money to alcohol. Took it to my grandmother and looked after my child and looked after myself. With the little I was getting. That's why I explained to you, every little cent must have a meaning. From that time, I knew poverty and I said, I'm not going to live like this. Whatever little I get, I'll make use of it. I owned that property while renting somewhere. After 2-3 years, that property was worth 650,000. Sold it. That park was becoming some flashy, big place in Polokwane. It still is. Sold it. Paid the bank 650. Paid the 200 of the bank. Remained with 450. Took 400 to go and deposit my house, which was 1 million rent in Flora Park. And I ate 50,000 nicely, angel. I peke swanti ke kwa mata ke. Ke bereki. From there, I worked, serviced that bond. Then bought a house in Sandton when I became the president of the Youth League. Then I was financed by ABSA. The first one I was financed by Nedbank. At least not yet. The second one, I don't remember who financed me. And then this one of Sandton, I'm sure I was financed by ABSA. All kinds of ANC leaders who could think of gathered in that house. It was just an ordinary house of 3 bedroom, 1 in-suite and the rest 3 bedroom, and then there's a common bathroom. Any leader of the ANC you can think of was always there. And they were like, hey man, you know when we sleep here, the problem is that we meet each other in the morning to the bathrooms. We need to renovate this house. They all brought money together. Remember, I'm too young, I'm 26. They brought the money together, themselves, and then demolished my house and started building a house there. It was built, that house, by ANC leaders, not me. Not me. That bond I'm telling you about, I'm still paying it now. So I can account for everything of mine. It's just that some things are over-exaggerated. I mean, there used to be a story here when we were renovating that house. Dr. Andlozi, for sure you were still in, where were you during that time? They were saying in that house there is a bunker. And gullible people of South Africa believed that. Believed that. That this guy is building a huge house with a bunker. And this bunker goes this way, is going to come out from the airport. I'm like. Then SARS came. And SARS said, hey, my guy, what is this renovation you are doing? I'm like, huh? It's not me. It's these guys, but they are doing it for you. Whatever happens, it's you who's going to benefit from this. You owe us. I went to the same people. There was no problem. They added those things of penalty and what those who have declared donations. I went to them. I said, you remember that money you brought there to build that house? It's causing me trouble. Here's the tax bill. You must pay. You have to pay. So, these old people around me have always taken care of me. because I was in the youth league, I was in COSAS. I grew up in the eyes of these guys. So there's nothing. That's why I speak the way I speak. That's why I do whatever I do, because I'm not scared anyone can come with some skeleton and say, yeah, we finish you off. They tried that when I was a baby. They won't do it now. Now SARS send a letter. I will not miss it by a second. Because I know SARS is a weapon that can be used to destroy you by your political opponents. And because it raises legitimate issues, but it gets used wrongly. You're owing them. SARS will never come saying you don't owe them. If you don't owe them, you owe them. They will come. But why should SARS be so aggressive instead of making you to be compliant? This. No. SARS has got a law. You pay now and argue later. Where will you pay? Where will you get the money? They use that then to destroy you. Because it's pay now, argue later. They destroy you. There will never be an argument later because that is court. That is court. Then they auctioned my house because these guys couldn't raise the money and all of that. Auctioned it live on television. I'm the only person whose houses were auctioned live on television. Trying to humiliate me. Now, after they did that, a person goes and buys that house in public, right? They say, no, he's sent by me. I don't know the guy. And now I start investigating. Why do they say I sent this guy? This guy comes from Seychelles. What a coincidence. They're like, I've never met the guy, he even passed on. Never met him, but no, he was sent by me to go and buy the house. And people believed that this guy can go with 3 million and give this guy to go and buy that house. And people of South Africa are like, no, man. What do you mean? So they tried with all of those things of lifestyle audit. Mashaba says who must do lifestyle audit. SARS conduct lifestyle audit on everyone. They don't even care about whether you agree or not. They just send you a questionnaire and say, yeah, answer all of this. And if you don't make sense, they come for you. So we don't need Mashaba's lifestyle audit. We've got institutional mechanisms already to do that. My brother, the property in Sandton, I'm even shocked you're saying it's owned by Afrikaners because I thought it was the Jewish people who make the property available in public. You go and make a bid and then you sign offer to purchase. Once they discover it's you, black men, they cancel and withdraw that thing from advertisement. And then it will circulate like they withdraw it a bit, and then they come back again until there is a right person to buy it. Now you say you've got 10 million, you sign the offer to purchase, they start investigating, they're like, okay, he can get 10 million this one. Remember, these are the people who own banks. They've got access to all our finances. They say, no, he can get 10. No, there's a real owner. But they know you can't afford 60, but no, 60. So what I said about Soweto, they use money to keep racism in property because they know black people cannot afford. That's why I'm saying, let's take this land. And because this is the idling land, you want to use it. And man, he says, no, you can't until you give me 60 million. We have to take that land so you come to us and say, this thing makes sense. We say, no, go and build there. There's no problem. This person has got a purpose to use this land for. When you have been idling with this land forever. So the land expropriation is inspired by those things that you guys want to farm, want to be property developers. The land is more expensive than the property itself that stand on that land. I mean, to get a land in Sandton is very difficult and is done deliberately through money to keep black people out of Sandton. I don't know. You said the farm is that Mpumalanga? Yeah, I think it's Mpumalanga. So we may want to ask Colin to make a follow-up on this one of pigs, because I'm also in farming. So what they do, in Limpopo, they used to give us the Nguni females, and then maybe 10, and then give you one male, and leave you for a particular period, I think 5 years. After that, they ask for their females back and their male. Then you continue with what came from their females. So there was no paying of anything. They gave you 10 cows, you must bring back 10 cows after 5 years. So they never said, you bring 10 cows back plus money. No, that sounds very dodgy. Because the aim is to enable you to enter farming. Yet you don't have money, so the state is supporting black farmers to be professional farmers, but they need the tools. So you can't give the tools and say, no, I actually borrowed you, pay me. No, it sounds very dodgy. So it's an interesting story that we need to follow up. You know, the president failed that Tintswalo when he said, keep searching for a job. Because the president should have outlined what programs are there. There is this, there is this, there is this. The president doesn't know the plans because the plans do not exist. How do you say to an old man who says, I want a fridge, buy me a fridge? Say, where were you working? I was working here. Go and tell them to buy you a fridge. Which leader says that? Because the president can't say, I will buy you a fridge. I accept that. But the president will say, Mbuyiseni, you talk about the fridge. It's a very important aspect. Mbuyiseni understand the language that he must buy the fridge. You assign someone there, right there. Because he moves around, by the way, this door to door with business people and all of that. Just say, help the old man. The old man meets a president. The young woman meets a president. The fact that you came into contact with president, something must give. I don't know anything. Ugabari has never been here. Because that's what he did in Amanskral. He goes there, people die of cholera. He goes there, he's pretending to be caring. He left Amanskral till today. That Royfal thing has not been fixed. If anything, situation is worse. How can the press... You don't go if you don't have a plan. You first work on a plan. And then you go there because you've got a solution. You go there because you've got a solution. You go like you are listening and listening. You see what's going to happen? Minister of Water, I want this. I want. It's not true. They told him we are going to do 1, 2, 3. Let's go. But he goes there. He doesn't know who's going to do what. You're just going to see them. The president overborn. No, the president, once he has stepped in here, done. Our problems are solved. And the problems of Hammanskral are simple. The Royval water treatment plant's budget has been stolen by individuals. A tender was given. Money has been paid. The product is not there. I become a president or a deputy president or anything of that sort. I take that project. I even establish a site office. I go there twice a week. We have to finish this thing. You monitor it yourself because you went there. I'm going to be visiting. And Hammanskral is not Giyani. It's next to the Union Building. What stops the president from making a turn at Hammanskral to check if there is progress? People are dying of cholera before he goes to his office. You clear my diary. I'm going to run this program for the next 3 months. We're going to complete this thing. And if we don't complete this, heads are going to roll. So, because he's an executive president. The rest, the so-called minister of this, those things are nothing.